There's this question that so many of us have probably thought about, maybe late at night or after an argument. It's this quiet little puzzle that we don't always say out loud.
And that exact question, what happens to the love after you get married? Well, it was asked by a total stranger on a flight 30,000 feet in the air. He was a successful businessman, sharp as a tack, but he was just completely lost when it came to this one thing. His story is, I think, the perfect way to start this explainer. He basically said, look, I've been married 3 times, and every single time it was amazing before the wedding. But then something just happens. It all just falls apart. Here's this guy, smart, successful, but he just couldn't crack the code of his own heart. The love he was so sure about just seemed to, vanish. And he kind of walked through it all. The first one lasted a decade, but fizzled out after they had a baby. He just felt like he didn't matter anymore. The second was a whirlwind, but it was basically a fight from day one. And that third one, he was so sure that was it. But nope, that one crumbled too. Now here's where it gets really interesting, especially with that third marriage. He really, really tried. He was constantly telling his wife how beautiful she was, that he loved her, how proud he was of her. I mean, he was saying all the things you're supposed to say, right? He thought he was doing everything right.
But it was like she wasn't even hearing him. Despite all the compliments, she started complaining. First, it was about little things, like him not taking out the garbage. But pretty soon, those small things turned into these huge attacks on his character. She became this negative person, and he just couldn't figure out what happened to the woman he fell in love with. And let's be real, the guy on the plane, he is not alone in asking this. I mean, think about it. Turn on the TV, walk past a magazine stand. It's everywhere. Talk shows, books, articles, all trying to crack this code, all trying to figure out how to keep love alive.
Which brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it? With all these articles on 101 ways to show your love, and all this advice floating around, why do so many of us still feel like our relationships are just running on fumes? Why does it feel like we're trying, but our partner just isn't getting it? Well, according to counselor Gary Chapman, the answer is actually incredibly simple. It's a fundamental truth that we've just been overlooking. It's not about how hard you try or even how sincere you are. It's that people speak different love languages. Just imagine this for a second. Let's say you only speak English and you're trying to tell someone you love them, but they only understand Chinese. It doesn't matter how loudly you say it or how much you mean it. They're just not going to get the message. To them, it's just noise.
And that's exactly what was happening to the man on the plane. He was speaking love, for sure, sincere, heartfelt words of affirmation. But his wife, that wasn't her language. She was probably looking for love in his actions, not his words. So all his compliments, as wonderful as they were, just didn't register. So here's the big takeaway. Sincerity just isn't enough. Feeling love and having good intentions is great, but it's not the whole story. We have to be willing to learn our partner's language. We have to communicate love in a way they can actually hear and feel. And after 30 years of counseling couples, Chapman came to this conclusion. There are basically 5 emotional love languages. Just 5. And the first, most important step is just realizing that these different languages even exist. That's the foundation for everything else. You see, this changes the whole game. Keeping love alive isn't some big secret that only a few lucky people know. It's not magic. It's a skill. It's something you can actually learn. It's like becoming fluent in a new language, the one that matters most to the person you love. And the path forward? It's really pretty straightforward. First, you've got to figure out what your partner's primary love language is. And second, you have to actually choose to speak it. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What love language do you speak? What feels natural to you? And then the more important question, is that the same language your partner actually hears? Because at the end of the day, being loved is really about being understood.